Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindus YouTube channel. I'm Nistula, Hebbar, and let's plunge right into the topic of this week's episode, and that is all the troubles, the political and legal travails facing the Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren following multiple summons from the Enforcement Directorate regarding corruption cases. Now, while Hemant Soren is not the only Chief Minister facing multiple summons from the ED, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal is also facing this. But Soren's troubles provide an eerie echo to those faced by former Bihar Chief Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav back in 1997. We will make a reference to that in the course of this episode. And with assembly polls due in Jharkhand later this year, the situation in the state has become interesting, to say the least. Well, Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren broke into the political limelight on Wednesday when he convened a meeting of the ruling coalition party legislators, that is, the parties with whom he formed a coalition in 2019 and came to power, that is the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, which is his own party, the Congress Party and the Rashtriya Janata Dal. And he called this meeting at his official residence in Jharkhand's capital, Ranchi. Now, the meeting lasted for over 2 hours, in which the current political situation in the state was discussed. And around 38 MLAs, 23 from the JMM, that is Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, 14 from the Congress and 1 from the Rashtriya Janata Dal were present at the meeting. Other ruling party MLAs who couldn't attend the meeting had some personal or family reasons. There was no other reason given by JMM to suggest that there was any breakup in terms of parting of ways between those MLAs and the ones who had gathered in a show of strength at the Chief Minister's residence. Now, the crucial meeting was called amid the continuous action taken by the Enforcement Directorate against Hemant Soren, who has skipped 7 summons in the alleged land scam case that has been filed and is being investigated by the Enforcement Directorate. The last summon was issued on December 30th, 2023, through which the ED had given Mr. Soren the last chance to record the statement in the land scams case. So this becomes kind of important in that context. Now, the ED has written a letter to Hemant Soren saying that it was very important to record his statement in the land scam case. Therefore, if he wishes, he can decide the place and time to record his statement. So far, so good. It is, of course, an important issue. But what was the need for Soren to call a meeting of legislators of his alliance? As I said before, this was the last summons. But the chatter actually began with the sudden resignation of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha MLA Sarfaraz Ahmed from his assembly constituency of Gandhi on Monday. The seat is a general category seat and one, according to the rules that govern the formation of the state of Jharkhand, anybody is allowed to contest, because tribal seats are reserved for tribals from that state. And Gandhi is a general category state, so anybody can stand. And therefore, it gave rise to the speculation that there were plans being made that Hemant Soren's wife, Kalpana Soren, who's herself a tribal but is from Odisha and therefore from outside the state of Jharkhand, was being prepared to take over in case there is an arrest of Hemant Soren or an arrest warrant issued against him. Thus, the vacancy of the general category seat, as I said, triggered off this speculation that she would be appointed Chief Minister and would be fighting a by-poll from that seat to consolidate her position. Well, is defying the ED summons that dire? I mean, of course, he and Arvind Kejriwal have been continuously telling the ED that they will not be able to make it to any of the questionings that were being asked, but they're still in their seats. So is it such a dire situation that it triggered off all this speculation, replacement of the Chief Minister? There is, of course, the fact that this was supposed to be the last summons for him. So I guess they're all waiting for the next act from the ED. But added to Hemant Soren's troubles is a letter by the Election Commission of India to the then Governor of Jharkhand, Ramesh Bais, in August 2022, which is believed to have recommended his disqualification as an MLA, as a mining lease given to him was renewed during his tenure as the state's chief minister. Now, this is all speculation. Nobody has opened that letter. Nobody has seen it except perhaps the officials in the Election Commission who sent it. So, because neither Bess nor his successor, C.P. Radhakrishnan, has opened that letter, but it hangs like a sword of Damocles over Hemant Soren's head. Now, in this situation, therefore, speculation was rife that Hemant Soren would do what Lalu Prasad Yadav did in 1997 after he was forced to resign following an arrest warrant issued in his name in the fodder scam case. Mr. Yadav chose his wife, Rabri Devi, former Chief Minister Rabri Devi, as his replacement in Bihar. And this was a position that Rabri Devi held between 1997 and 2005. So there was a lot of talk that this is exactly what Hemant Soren is also going to do, because in terms of positions of trust, trusting his wife to be his replacement in the state. But Hemant Soren and the JMM have been very quick to deny that such plans were not on the anvil, and they said that this was basically propaganda being spread by the BJP. And in fact, if you look at the timeline, Jharkhand MP Nishikant Dubey was one of the first to spread this speculation around. Now, at the meeting of the JMM alliance, therefore, it was stressed that Hemant Soren will remain the chief minister and will complete his 5-year term. Now, political experts believe that the meeting was called to show unity among the alliance partners and also to send a message to the opposition BJP that the present government was ready to face any challenges. The very next day, however, ED carried out raids at locations connected with the close aid of Hemant Soren, and this basically has piled on the pressure. It is a very, very pressurized situation, politically pressurized situation that is going on in Jharkhand. Now, for both Hemant Soren and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the ED summons and legal travails thereof have become challenging in terms of their political careers. Now, all of this is coming up in the run-up to the general elections of 2024. It may impair the opposition's ability to put its best foot forward, distracted as it is by these pressures and troubles. Arvind Kejriwal, in fact, has lost 2 ministers of his government, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, who are both in jail on the excise scam case, and the leader of his Rajya Sabha legislature party group, Sanjay Singh, who's also been put in jail. So this basically removes a lot of people who could be on the ground and basically shaping the campaign for the party going ahead. And the same can be the case with Hemant Soren, who is the supreme leader of his party. So all of this is an extremely challenging situation politically for these parties. The alternative narrative is, of course, for them to emphasize that the BJP is using instruments of state to pressure opponents. Basically, BJP is using ED and CBI and IT, that is the Income Tax Department, to pressurize, to put opponents into legal trouble, and therefore impair the ability of these parties to put up a credible political fight and, of course, play that card with the public. This has the advantage of eliciting sympathy from the voter. The Indian voter does have some strains of sympathy for a case of victimization, and there could be an attempt, there is an alternative narrative that could be shaped up by these actions. Because the voter may say that, okay, yes, the central government is being vindictive. It may also not bite that narrative, but this is the alternative narrative that seems to be gaining ground and seems to be the way forward for these parties. Now, it seems that in the first act of the play of 2024 general elections, enforcement agencies have made their pivotal entry. Now, we will remain with this story as it unfolds further, whether ED comes up with some precipitate action against these 2 chief ministers, whether arrests are made, how their parties react, and ultimately how the people react on the electoral battlefront. Till then, thank you, and I will see you next week.